To understand Iran, you have to look back, way back. This isn't just a country, it's a cradle of civilization, a crossroads where empires rose and fell, and a unique culture took root. For millennia, Persia has been the stage for mighty kings, revolutionary prophets, and resilient people. The very name Iran means land of the Aryans, reflecting an ancient heritage predating many civilizations. Here, Zoroastrianism introduced ideas of good and evil long before they spread elsewhere. The legacy of this past isn't just in museums, it lives in language, traditions, and the soul of the Iranian people. Think of Iran as an ancient tree, deep roots in Persian empires, a trunk scarred by change, and branches shaped by dynasties like the Safavids and Pahlavis. Its leaves are the vibrant, complex culture of modern Iran. Each part is connected. You can't understand one without the others. Iran's history is more than dates. It's about identity. Despite conquest by Greeks, Arabs, and Mongols, Persians never lost their core. They absorbed, adapted, and influenced art, science, and literature across the region. This ability to endure and shape destiny is central to Iran's story. It's a tale of survival, synthesis, and cultural pride, and it's essential for understanding our world today. Our story begins in the 6th century BC with Cyrus the Great, a visionary who united Persian and Median tribes. He built the Achaemenid Empire, stretching from the Balkans to the Indus Valley, the largest the world had seen. Cyrus's genius was not just in conquest, but in governance. His proclamation, the Cyrus Cylinder, is often called the first charter of human rights. He allowed freedom of worship and let displaced peoples return home, holding his empire together through tolerance. Darius the Great, his successor, standardized currency, built the royal road, and commissioned Persepolis, a symbol of unity and power. Persepolis's carvings showed subjects from across the empire bringing tribute, not as slaves but as respected members of a vast state. But the empire's size bred challenges, rebellions, and the rise of Greece on its western frontier. The Greco-Persian Wars, including Marathon and Thermopylae, exposed vulnerabilities. For Persians, these were border skirmishes. For Greeks, defining moments. The Achaemenid Empire remained formidable, but cracks had formed. These conflicts set the stage for a new conqueror who would change Persia forever. The Golden Age was ending, but its legacy would echo through history. Cyrus's model of rule influenced empires for centuries. The world had never seen anything like Persia, and soon, it would face its greatest challenge yet. The Achaemenid Empire fell swiftly to Alexander the Great. In 334 BC, Alexander crossed into Asia Minor, determined to topple Persia. His victories at Granicus, Issus, and Gaugamela shattered Darius III's forces. Alexander captured Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis, burning the latter in a symbolic act. The old order was gone. A new, Hellenistic age began. Alexander sought to fuse Greek and Persian cultures, encouraging intermarriage and adopting Persian customs. This blend, known as Hellenism, saw Greek become the language of administration, but Persian culture endured and influenced the new rulers. After Alexander's death, his empire fractured. Persia fell under the Seleucids, ruled by a Greek-speaking elite seen as outsiders. Yet the memory of Achaemenid glory persisted. Zoroastrian priests kept traditions alive, and a longing for independence simmered. Persian identity survived, waiting for revival. The seeds of a new Persian resurgence were sown. The story was far from over. Hellenistic rule faded, and from Pars a new power rose, the Sassanids. In the 3rd century AD, Ardashir I overthrew the Parthians and revived Persian greatness. The Sassanids claimed direct descent from Cyrus and Darius, calling themselves Shahanshah, King of Kings. They centralized power, made Zoroastrianism the state religion, and forged a strong national identity. Persia became a superpower, rivaling Rome and Byzantium for centuries. Sassanid art, architecture, and science flourished, influencing the Silk Road and beyond. Their society was hierarchical, their court a center of learning, but endless wars and internal tensions left them vulnerable. A new force was rising from Arabia, ready to reshape the region. In the 7th century, Islam swept out of Arabia, toppling the exhausted Sassanid Empire. The Battle of Al-Qadisiyah shattered Persian resistance. The Islamic conquest was a turning point. Zoroastrianism faded, and Arabic became the language of power. Yet, Persians didn't simply become Arabs. They became Muslims while retaining their distinct identity. Persian scholars and administrators shaped the Islamic world, contributing to theology, science, and literature. The Persian language flourished, producing epic poetry like Ferdowsi's Shahnameh. Persianate culture became central to the Islamic Golden Age. The Arabs brought the religion, but the Persians ran the empire. Legendary figures like Avicenna and Rumi emerged. Persia's cultural conquest of its conquerors was profound. This fusion of Persian identity and Islam set the stage for Iran's next transformation. After centuries of foreign rule, Persia lacked unity until Shah Ismail I founded the Safavid dynasty in the 1500s. He declared Twelver Shi'a Islam the state religion, transforming Iran's identity and setting it apart from its Sunni neighbors. This radical shift created lasting divisions but forged a unique national consciousness. Under Shah Abbas the Great, the Safavid Empire reached its zenith. He reformed the army, centralized power, and made Isfahan a dazzling capital. Isfahan's mosques, palaces, and public squares became symbols of Persian glory. The city thrived as a hub of trade and diplomacy. Persian art carpets and ceramics became world-renowned. The Safavids blended Persian culture with Shia faith, shaping Iran's identity. This legacy endures, defining Iran to this day. The Safavid era was a golden age of art, architecture, and national pride. Iran's Shia identity was now inseparable from its Persian roots. After the Safavids, Iran faced decline and foreign interference. The Qajar dynasty struggled against Russian and British encroachment, losing territory and granting damaging concessions. Oil's discovery in the early 20th century made Iran strategically vital, but profits flowed abroad, fueling resentment. Reza Khan seized power, becoming Reza Shah, and founding the Pahlavi dynasty. He modernized Iran, building railways, factories, and schools, while enforcing secular reforms and sidelining the clergy. His rule was authoritarian, alienating traditionalists and religious leaders. The foundations of modern Iran were laid, but at the cost of repression. The Pahlavis' push for westernization and centralization set the stage for backlash. Oil wealth brought both progress and inequality. Nationalism and discontent simmered beneath the surface. Iran was changing rapidly, but tensions were rising. The seeds of revolution had been planted. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the last Shah, continued his father's modernization, fueled by oil wealth. His white revolution brought reforms but also deepened inequality and alienation. Political freedoms vanished under his repressive regime and feared secret police, SAVAK. Many saw the Shah as a puppet of the West, eroding Iran's identity. Opposition grew: secular liberals, students, leftists, and most powerfully, the Shia clergy led by Ayatollah Khomeini. Khomeini's message, smuggled into Iran, called for an Islamic government and resonated with millions. In 1978, mass protests erupted, paralyzing the country. The Shah fled in 1979. Khomeini returned to a hero's welcome. The monarchy was abolished, and Iran became an Islamic republic after a referendum. The revolution shocked the world, redrawing the Middle East's political map. Iran's new government enforced Islamic law and reshaped society. The revolution's legacy still shapes Iran's politics and identity. It was a seismic shift, ending centuries of monarchy. The world watched as Iran charted a new, uncertain course. The echoes of 1979 still reverberate today. The Islamic Republic faced immediate challenges, most notably the devastating Iran-Iraq War. The conflict united the country but left deep scars. Iran became a theocracy, with power split between elected officials and the supreme leader. Tensions with the West, especially over nuclear ambitions, led to crippling sanctions and hardship. Yet Iranian culture remains vibrant. Its youth are educated, creative, and globally aware. Art, film, and literature thrive, often in tension with strict regulations. Tradition and modernity coexist, sometimes uneasily. Iran's story is one of resilience, surviving conquest, revolution, and transformation. Its future is unwritten, shaped by the struggle between ideals and aspirations. The legacy of Persia endures, echoing through every chapter of Iran's ongoing story.